By default, Windows 10 tends to send a considerable amount of personal information and activity that you do and have to Microsoft servers. In this video, I want to show you how you can turn off a lot of those features. So to get started, we'll click the Windows button in the lower left-hand corner, and then we'll click the Settings button. And then in the Settings window, we'll go to Privacy. And we'll start with the General item here. And as you can see in mine, I've turned most of these features off. Actually, I've turned all of them off. And all of them are on by default. And I really don't care for a lot of them. Let apps use advertising ID to make ads more interesting to you. No, thank you. I turn that off. Let websites provide locally relevant content by accessing my language list. I don't know how relevant that is, but I don't see a reason to let Microsoft know what language I'm speaking. Let Windows track app launches to improve start and search results. That probably has a lot to do with what's displayed in your start menu here. I like to leave that off. That's not important to me. Show me suggested content in the Settings app. Now, this is the Settings app. I don't see what's important there. I would, for the most part, just turn that off, because if I'm in Settings, I usually know exactly where I want to go in Settings. I don't see a reason to see suggested content in Settings. Speech, inking, and typing. This is really Cortana related, and I don't use Cortana. Cortana actually has a lot of potential, but the way it's been set up in Windows currently, I just wasn't able to really take advantage of it like I hoped I would. So I don't even use the speech and typing services in here. The only thing I use Cortana for is just the search function down here. And it just searches my computer for items that I'm looking for. And that's the only thing I use it for. So I keep these services turned off. I believe what this does is, as you're typing or speaking, it will send the content of what you're doing to Microsoft, and they can pretty much improve their services based on the information you send them. I don't like sending them information if I don't have to, so I leave this turned off. Diagnostics and feedback. This is usually set to full. It sends pretty much everything you're doing, how you browse, how you use your apps, everything. I want to send them only basic information. I would probably send them less than that if I could, but they like to know something, and you generally do have to send them a little bit of diagnostic information, so I prefer setting this to basic. Activity history, I keep most of this turned off for the most part. This really relates to the timeline down here. The reason I started turning this off is because it doesn't track what I really do. I mean, I would use this if it had a list of all the documents that I had opened recently, and it really doesn't show me enough relevant information about what I've been doing to take advantage of it. So I just turn it off, because there's a number of documents I open, for example, in OpenOffice. There's spreadsheets and word processing documents I open, and they never show up here. And I don't know if it's some kind of bias against OpenOffice. If I was using Microsoft Office, if that would change. If you're using Microsoft Office, maybe you would see items in your timeline, but since I don't use Microsoft Office, they never show up here. So I really don't see a reason to give them any information about my history with this particular account. And down here, these are specifics you can set for applications if you want to. This is, in my previous experience with Windows, when you write an application, for the most part, you have access to this. With Windows 10, apparently, you can turn off access to specific items if you want to, like location, camera, microphone. And it can be application specific, like you can turn it on in general, like it is here for the camera, but you can go down and turn it off for specific applications. And you can do that for most of the items here. I'm not going to get into them right now, but it's just something you need to know about. If there's something you don't want an application to have access to, more than likely you can access it here in privacy settings and turn it off, or you can turn off the entire feature for any application if you want to. So those are some general tips for handling your privacy settings. That's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Click subscribe if you want to see more. Also, make sure you check out the website www.the-nerdcave.com and tell your friends about me. I'd love to hear from them. Thanks for watching and have a great day.